G'day guys, Dan here. We're getting to the pointy end of this project, and today I'd like to go through all the bits and pieces that I've chosen to put in here. It's a tight squeeze, as you can see, some thought's gone into it. Overall, this has been a really rewarding project, and hopefully I can inspire you to do something similar with your camping setup, or at least give you some ideas. So in no particular order, mixing bowl. I had a larger one of these, which I have used in my previous videos, you would have seen, but it was a bit too big to fit in, so I bought a smaller one, and that other one's migrated inside.
They also make excellent hats.
Dave.
What?
Dave.
You really need one of these just as a all-in-one for preparation. I find them really handy, so that stays. So looking in this Drifta heavy duty bag I've got a sieve or a strainer, can be used for both, so I can strain vegetables or pasta or whatever, sieve things if I need to. This is a garlic crusher, so I opted for one which gives me a bit of flexibility. So the idea is you just rock over garlic or whatever you're trying to crush. It's really solid. I reckon I could drive over that. Got that one on Amazon. Opted for this rather than one with sort of mechanical moving parts. And yeah, really you could just manually try to crush and cut up garlic or whatever, but yeah, this makes it a whole lot easier and gives you a consistent result. Got a couple of stubby holders and a little shot glass, which I can use to measure stuff or in case of emergencies. Couple of hooks, so these are for lifting the camp oven lid off, you know, other random bits and pieces you might need them for. They're pretty handy too. I won't go through that yet. Main utensils I've got are a pair of tongs and also a brush for brushing on marinades and doing that stuff. That's in there. I've got two, they come off, they're not red on the ends, telescopic forks. They're really good for whatever you want really, marshmallows, cooking single things on the fire. We've got 4 of them, but I've just got 2 of them in there for the sake of space. And similarly, got just 2, these are Kmart brand skewers, and they've been really good to me. We've got a whole set, but just throwing 2 in there for various bits and pieces that I might need for over the fire. All right, and that's in there. There's some cleaning stuff there I'll go through in a sec. So that's the main bag of bits and pieces. The reason we love all this stuff so much is because we want to improve it each time. So while this is a starting point, I'm not saying that this is the final thing. Yeah, I'm sure once I start cooking with it, taking it places, you know, things will need to get moved, things will get taken out, things will get added in, but that's really just part of the fun. So don't hold me to anything here. From what I've learned so far, cooking in the bush, this is what I'm taking, but I'm not saying this is the end, this is the start. Like I said, this other bag in here is going to be herbs and spices, so I'll show you what I've done so far. I've got about 30 different labelled herbs and spices in there. So that's coming together, and I tend to use a lot of canola oil and olive oil, so there's lots of that, and some white wine vinegar as well. So just some things that I think I'll use a lot, and then I can mix and match it as I need to. So that's really cool. For plates, I've decided on these zebra trays. These are really quite heavy duty and solid. You can probably use them for cooking on if you wanted to, or putting them in an oven, but I'm using them as plates, and I've chosen them because they stack up very, very small. So you'll see in previous videos I have had one of these and I bought 3 more. So a bit of an investment there. They're not cheap. It's probably $100 worth of stuff there. But they're going to last a lifetime and very versatile. For bowls, I've got these, which are also made by Zebra. These are a great size for serving as well as preparing. I'd really like it if they stacked a little bit more neatly or more flush, but sort of working with what I've got there, and yeah, they're still really good. So bowls and plates, tick. Also got these little, 3 of these little ones here for preparation or dipping sauces or whatever you want them for as well. One thing I'm still undecided about is what cups I'm going to put in the kitchen. So we've just been using these enamel cheap cups, which do the job perfectly, but they don't stack at all. I really need something that can stack together and go in there. Let me know if you've got any ideas on what cups I can get. Chopping board and serving board. This one was just repurposed. I've used it for all my videos so far, repurposed from the kitchen. Works fine. One day I might get one that's got my own brand on it or something, but in the meantime, this is awesome. It's a great size, it's not too big. I seem to be able to do what I need to on it. And yeah, it ticks a few boxes by being able to prepare and serve on. Got this, it managed to fit in this cup as well. So again, just a miscellaneous thing. I can put rubbish in it as I go, I can stir things in it, I can mix things up, I can just put water in it, whatever I need to do. My beautiful billy, which I made a video on, so please check that out if you haven't seen. But this is what I plan to do a lot of the boiling of water in and whatnot. I should have shown you this when we were talking about storage in the last one. These are my new jerry cans made by Ridge Monkey in England. Drifta over here bought a trial shipment of a lot of their products, and I saw these and jumped at them. What I really like about them is the 10 litre one and up, so this is 5, this 10 litre one and up come with a really big wide lid, so it's really easy to fill, and you can also get your hand in there. So if you ever get like a mouldy jerry can, it happens from time to time, you leave a little bit of water in there for too long, be able to clean it, which is real handy. They also all come with a tap attachment, and it came sort of separate on the 5 litre, but what it does, right, is it screws into the underside of this wide cap, and so you can always have the tap attachment with you, and when you're carrying it in the car, you haven't got that tap attachment banging onto things and making it awkward to pack things in around it. I also really like that they're square in the size. So with our daughter, the size she is, I'm worried that our 20 litre jerry can, the upright ones, you know, she'll push that over and it'll crush her. So something on my mind as well. But how cool is this? Just screws in. Probably got the tap open, but so when you're ready to have the tap, you just tip it up and you'll have some water. So it's pretty cool. This is an AeroPress to make coffee with. If you're not familiar with AeroPress, it's basically a giant syringe where you're forcing through the end of the syringe, there's a filter, so you're just pushing the water through the grinds and then filtering it out as you go down the syringe. These are really excellent. I've had them inside for years. I only just replaced it. I actually bought 2, one for out here and one for inside. The seal finally went after about 3 years of use. I like to drink black coffee, so yeah, that's really good. One thing I'd recommend is they give you paper filters, but I think that they're a bit of a hassle, and you know, you want to have less consumables as you can. You can get stainless steel mesh filters, which I've got inside, so I'm going to get one of those for the AeroPress in the camp kitchen too. I'll put this back together later, it's a bit of a puzzle. Some other stuff here. One measuring spoon. You know, I'm usually happy just to go by eye, but if I want to repeat it or explain to you what I've done, I better measure things out occasionally. This is a Fred in the Australian Army. also known as a fudging ridiculous eating device, and it's basically a spoon with this little shallow spoon on the end, a bottle opener at this side, and a very flimsy blade on a hinge which allows you to open cans. So basically this is my can opener, is what I'm saying. Another little gadget I've got no other use for, so I thought I'd throw in. This is called a Gerber artifact, and again it's got a nail puller, a bottle opener, and a very rusty blade on a hinge. And this is handy for just whipping out and opening packets or cutting things fine, you know, like a scalpel blade. I showed you this cheese grater in my FIREPIT souvlaki video that I made. It's a Victorinox, aka Swiss Army cheese grater, which I think is a bit of a joke, but seems to be high quality and extremely compact. Couldn't find any cheese graters smaller than this. And recently I got this, which is a potato peeler or vegetable peeler to go with it. So there we go. These are some things that I've sort of splurged on, just so I can keep everything really small but still have some really good normal versatility like I would in the kitchen at home. And that's that. Cutlery up here. So I got 4 forks, 4 spoons from an op shop. So like I said, I want to be able to feed 4 people, so I need 4 of each. I just counted 3 then. I was worried I couldn't count, but I thought there was 4. There is 4. And for knives, I did splurge a little bit. These are Victorinox, aka Swiss Army steak knives, or tomato and steak knives. I intentionally bought these because they don't have a point on the end like a lot of steak knives do, so it's safer when I'm fumbling around in the dark, and just generally safer as well. They're really sharp still, I need to be careful. Knives, I think, can make a really good eating experience. So if I'm a fine dining bush shelf chef and I'm cooking for 4 people, I want them all to have a good experience with good knives. So decided to buy some nice knives. What's that? Yes. And every aggressively amateur handyman seems to collect multi-tools. So this is a Leatherman Surge. This is the one my dad got me for my 21st. So it's going in there. I wish it had the spring on the pliers, but it doesn't. And it's got a saw though, so that's handy sometimes when you're out and about. But yeah, so multi-tool, like I said, seems to be a theme here. Everything has got a lot of multiple uses, and having a tool like this handy close is a good idea. This is my meat thermometer, or just general probe thermometer. It's made by Inkbird. I got it on Amazon. I have seen these in Bunnings in Australia, but not this exact one. It's really good, I think. It turns on automatically, turns off automatically. You can change it between degrees and Fahrenheit very easily. And it's got a magnet on the back, so you can stick it on your campfire table or whatever. So I've used that for a while now. Really recommend it. I think it folds up fairly small. It's simple, it's practical. Haven't needed to charge the batteries yet, even though it is rechargeable. But yeah, recommend that one. That was just to cushion the billy so I don't damage it. Get that out of the way. So getting onto some cleaning stuff now. Inside the basin here, a couple of tea towels, a couple of scourers and sponges, dishcloth, and the star of the show, I think, is I spoke about the Plastic Man, a shop in Melbourne that sell wholesale plastics, and one thing they sell are these spray bottles. So I use this. This is the second bottle I've had of this. I've gone through one bottle. This is Cedar Summit Wilderness Wash. It's biodegradable, it says, pH neutral, and it's suitable for washing your hair, your body, your dishes, and your clothes all in one. And it says on here, one cap does a full 10-litre sink of water. So this is 500 ml, so I'm not going to measure out 1/20th of a cap into here. So I just did like 3/4 of a cap, half cap, 3/4 of a cap. It doesn't foam much, and this is basically my soap. I can spray things, and then not feel bad about tipping the water out wherever I am. So giving this a go, we've got it in our normal family camp kitchen now too. I think it's a really good way of doing things. All right, paper towel, cling wrap, alfoil. Alfoil seems to be very essential for the sort of cooking I do. And I've got, this is an army issue boot cleaner, I think. I got it when I was in the army. One thing they didn't ask for back. So it's actually got this wire brush on one side and these hard bristles on the other. And to save space, I'm not putting in a full big grill brush to clean the BRAAI grill. I'll just see how I go with this little toothbrush thing. So it might not work. There could be an update soon and I put in like a bigger grill brush if I need it, but that might work. And this is a dustpan and brush. I got this one on Amazon because I was intentionally looking for really small ones. I think this is actually OXO is a fairly prestigious, indoor kitchen brand, but that doesn't bother me. It was fairly cheap. Big fan of having dustpan and brushes everywhere when you're camping. We've got one in the door of the four-wheel drive to dust off feet and things before we get in. I've got one in the campfire, in the actual campfire kit, and I've got one that goes with our tent, and wherever else have I got one? Probably got another one too. So big fans of having these around, and this one fits in there nicely. And then a couple of snap lock bags. I can do marinades. I can take home leftovers by putting them in the ice box or the fridge. So use them sparingly, but they're really handy having some big Ziploc bags around. That's empty, that's empty. And of course the knife here mounted on the side. There's a bit of a centerpiece. So yeah, that pretty much covers it. I guess there's some obvious limitations, like if I've got the camp oven, the BRAAI and the billy, I don't have kind of a heap of saucepans or skillets and other things, so I'm intentionally going a certain direction with what I'm able to do, and hopefully I can get creative and do things, but I don't want to overburden myself with having too much stuff. What else can I say? Things like a spatula I have not included because I think I can get away with just using the tongs, like the tongs, good set of tongs. So these ones came with the BRAAI grill, and I've been really happy with them. Good set of tongs can do kind of a number of things. You can stir, you can lift things out, you can do all sorts of stuff. So, if push comes to shove, I can use the end of this as a thing to stir with, or I guess I'm just trying to keep it really simple. I like the idea that it's incomplete, and I sort of need to hatchet my way through to make it work, and obviously it's just a box, and so I can only carry as much as I can fit in the box, and I think this pretty much covers it. I've got a garlic crusher, cheese grater, I've got a peeler, I've got a mixing bowl, multiple things that make what most people would call a full-fledged kitchen. So anyway, I'm probably starting to babble, so I'm going to leave it there. Greatly appreciate your time. Bit of a weird video, this one. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. But let me know if you've got any questions, and I'm happy to talk further about anything. Next one, we're just doing the finishing touches on this kitchen, and we might do a first cook to christen the thing. Christen? Is that the right word? Baptized? Anyway, thanks guys. See ya.